But first up, well, the National Rugby League, they've squibbed it. Pure and simple. They've squibbed it. Presented today with cases of two of its star players breaching COVID-19 rules, one after being warned twice before by police, they handed out fines and a one-match suspension. 50k for Josh Addo-Carr and Latrell Mitchell, with 60% of that suspended, meaning they're up for about 20 grand. It's just a round of drinks for these blokes. They earn about 800 a year. They get 30k for an origin match. Now, the NRL wants to start back on May 28, which is fantastic. Bring it on. Bring it on. The season will go through until late October. No crowds? That's okay. We're in a whole different world right now. But Josh Addo-Carr, Latrell Mitchell, Tyronne Roberts-Davis and Nathan Cleary should not play footy again in 2020. And their fines for breaching COVID-19 restrictions should be their annual salaries. Instead, the NRL has tickled them with a feather. At a time when the National Rugby League is relying upon senior health officials to give the green light for their May 28 resumption, the NRL had no choice but to throw these people out of the game for the entire season. By allowing them to continue, the NRL has sent a message to health bosses that they're not fair income about adhering to the strict social distancing protocols required for footy to resume. By fining them their entire annual salary, it would have sent a message to other players that the NRL is taking a zero-tolerance approach to the COVID-19 crisis. The fact that Addo-Carr was warned twice in 11 days by police for violating COVID-19 restrictions before the ill-fated Taree trip shows we're dealing with individuals here who probably don't have the intellectual capacity to understand the gravity of their actions. Now, in previous years, society has frowned upon off-field discretions of footballers, accepting in many instances that they live in this bubble, they're role models, and that their every move is scrutinised, amplified. But this indiscretion goes well beyond a Bali brawl or a drug-fuelled end-of-season trip. This is life and death stuff. And as the majority of Australians have done the right thing and isolated at home, flattening the curve so that we can get out of this thing earlier than anticipated, a couple of footballers have thumbed their noses at the rules. The fact that they posted their idiocy online demonstrates their brazen arrogance. To suggest then that it was some sort of cultural thing is beyond belief. Addo-Carr and Mitchell, now they led the charge by not acknowledging Australia's national anthem at last year's State of Origin, saying Advance Australia Fair did not reflect their values. Now that's their right. That's their God-given Australian right. But they have no right to endanger the lives of others by flagrantly breaking social distancing laws during the most lethal pandemic of our lifetime. They should have been forced to sit out 2020. As I said at the start, the NRL have squibbed it. Maybe then these players would have got the message that doing the right thing is for everybody, including elite footballers.